we said this earlier and joking. People make choices in terms of that. There's consequences to some of the choices in life.
Absolutely. When there are people that are poor.
But that's not why most people are poor.
Right?
That's not why most people are poor at all.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Just saying most.
Can I get to that point?
What's the point? Yeah,
in terms of that, there's some people that in some situations that people make choices and then some people don't. And I'm not saying that the people with no choices, not that they should be like people who hate on food stamps. I'm like, we needed it at a point in life. The moment that we didn't need it, my parents took us off. So quick in terms of that. And we weren't even middle class at that point yet, in terms before they took us off. They just like, we don't need this anymore, and took us off. Some people will abuse that, and I've seen it in college when they started abusing that in terms of
I had a roommate that used to do that shit all the time.
So some people make choices all at the end of the day is what I'm saying. If given a handicap, people would choose the handicap. Maybe it's a negative view in terms of that, but in terms of that,
I think that is somewhat true though. People are lazy,
and it's true. It's true, and it's not the reason the economy is shit. I'll tell you that.
But the thing is, though, we can't punish the people that are handicapped by not their own choice, that are poor just based on ability, right? Because we have some freeloaders, right? We're like, exactly. Because there are freeloaders.
There's like three freeloaders.
Can't contribute anything to the system, you know. I mean, me and Eve will debate about the number. I think there's a good significant of people that are lazy pieces of shit that'll stay on social security.
That's a fact.
But regardless, then you improve the system. You make it hard. You know, you find a way to separate. Like that, we have the tech to do so much crazy shit in this world. You're telling me we can't figure out whether or not somebody has like a real disease or whether or not a doctor wrote them a letter. Like, there's got to be some kind of measurement that we can do. Some kind of, you know. Maybe a test. I don't know exactly what it is.
We've seen it in basic school. I don't, and I'm a prominent against the current schooling system. But we've seen it in school in terms of that. Where
how so?
Where there's a reason why not everybody gets A's. There's just a simple reason for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a simple reason. You put the work in. Good chances are not just the work. It's not just hard work.
That's not true in life. That's not true in life.
Also, I don't think if you put the work in, you should.
I think it is so.
You should get a C+.
It's very hard for me to say. There's two things.
If you're not smart, you shouldn't get an A.
I'm not saying that too, because my mom works at Myers and she's been working at Myers for years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But is it because she didn't put enough work in that she's not a millionaire?
Let me just tell you. There's a lot, especially and I've worked in a grocery store before. There's a lot of people that work very hard. Don't get me wrong, and live paycheck to paycheck. My mom is not one of those. She chose to take a second job. She, in her savings, has more money than my dad, who's in the who is a PhD.
And does she work?
And they contribute 50% to everything.
But
the bills.
But Paris Hilton is a harder worker than your mom because she's richer.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm talking about people in the same situation.
Yeah. All circumstances held equal.
They're both working in the same grocery store. One has close to 100K in savings. One doesn't.
But Elon Musk is a harder worker than all of our parents combined.
But I'm talking about the same situation.
Because he's richer.
Two people are working hard at the grocery store, you're saying. Two people are working hard in the grocery store.
We're all the same.
People are making decisions.
You guys are debating different points.
I'm talking about the systemic problem in the United States.
No. Bust your ass. Eve's debating, is it proportional what they have to what they've brought? It's two different debates, though.
You're discrediting the work that she's putting in, is what I'm saying. Two people have a choice to make.
But nobody's talking about that, though. I'm not talking about, like, on an individual...
I'm just saying, though, two people have a choice to make. You work your full-time job, and both have kids. One chooses to take a second job and decrease her spending so she can save more.
But Sam,
it has 100K in the bank.
But that's not how people treat millionaires.
Do you think a second job should be necessary?
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. The same situation. One's living paycheck to paycheck, same job. They're getting paid the same at the same Myers job. But two people have choices to make. One wants more, and doesn't settle for just working hard on one job.
But don't you see the problem, though? Like, are you blind to the problem?
You're discrediting that though. Well, you're discrediting. Don't discredit.
You can bust your ass and get yourself into a better position. We all, I think, we all agree.
You said that you can't bust your ass and make more out of life.
I didn't say that. I said nobody ever earned $1 billion in life. Nobody worked hard enough to earn $1 billion. Like nobody. Like
but
how?
You said some people in the bottom don't have choices. Some people do.
Some people don't have choices, Sam.
Is not enough.
Some people don't have choices. The fucking stateless children and living in the boats can work as hard as they can. They'll never make it to where I am, let alone where fucking Jeff Bezos, no matter how hard they work. They don't have a fucking choice.
In the U.S.? What boats in the U.S.?
No, I'm not. That's true in the U.S. too. That's true in the U.S. too. There's people in the U.S. that are undocumented, work harder than 99% of the people in the U.S.
They work harder than everybody.
Everybody.
It's undocumented.
Bust their ass.
No, what does that matter?
Situation.
Exactly.
Technically,
exactly. So I'm using this extreme example.
We came here legally though. If we came undocumented, we would not have been given our opportunities that we got.
Can I finish?
Opportunities are only given to Americans who came here legally.
Can I finish? Okay. I'm using this extreme example to show, right, that even when it's not so extreme, even though some people are citizens of the United States, but maybe they come from a broken home, both parents are drug addicts or criminals, right? And these people have to work 5 times as hard just to maybe get a college acceptance, right?
So
these people have to
college. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, and these people have to work 10 times as hard just to get a small scholarship. And they can work as hard as they can in life. They will never touch $1 million. They work harder than Jeff Bezos ever worked in his whole life 5 times, and they'll never touch it. Never. Because they're already bored in a situation.
Bro, it's not that hard to save up $1 million working 30, 40 years in their retirement.
Okay, fine, $1 billion, whatever, right? All I'm saying is these rich people that you look so high up to, these fucking gods that you look up to, is not there. Most of them are not you specifically. I mean people in general, like that, like especially mainstream media that look up to these billionaires. Like they are the hardest workers on the planet and they earned their way there. Like, no, they didn't.
I don't believe that the hardest workers at the end of the day. Because I just told you an example. Somebody works very hard at Walmart. 2 people can work very hard. And 2 people have choices on what they do. One chooses to save. One chooses to live outside their means in terms of that. One has a goal for something more. One doesn't. If you do not have that goal for something more, most people don't. There's why that we see and talk to each other the most in terms of our group. And we've seen so many people in our lives already. If you do not want more, there's no way you will get more. Simple as that.
That's true. I agree.
That's a fact. That's a fact of that.
I agree with that 100%.
And you can't just say, but some people will say, I'll take money though.
I agree with that 100%.
There are absolutely.
Yeah, there are people like that. Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I once was one of them.
Nobody's ever earned $1 billion.
There'll never be a system where somebody comes in from another country, or even because that was a situation. But there's
Elon Musk did.
You start off. No, but he was wealthy in the beginning.
Yeah.
And to get startup money. But I do not. There's a moment of hard work needed, of course. But the big thing is you have to have the desire for more. Without the desire for more, you wouldn't find smarter routes to make shortcuts, improvements in terms of that. Just working hard is not good enough. It's not good enough at the end of the day.
I think in order to become absolutely rich, you have to anticipate market conditions. Right? And Bezos was just a hedge fund guy who saw internet usage going up 2,600% every day and was like, I guess I'm getting out of the hedge fund game. The internet's the future. And he built the marketplace for the internet, right? Like, I think that most of the rich people Yeah, but he knew at the beginning.
But he wanted more.
He scaled it out. The books was a proof of concept, like any VC, right?
Exactly.
You want to prove that you can move things from A to B, and that you can prove your concept. Then you go to the VCs and show them, hey, I've built a whole system. It works completely well. Let's throw some money on this and throw some more products in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
But like any rich person, it's not even do they work hard. It's do they anticipate what's coming next, right? Like it's.
And a lot of people said that he was going to fail.
It's intelligence.
A lot of people bet against Jeff Bezos. A lot of people. A lot of people. And same with Elon too. A lot of people bet against. That's why they're richer. They are.
All I'm saying.
A lot of people bet against them.
Like that's the whether you believe they like deserve the money or not is one thing, but they didn't really earn that money. Like they're living in a system in place that was built by a lot of people. That for most of the United States government, most of the United States history, they taxed all the rich people. Like up until maybe the 60s, 70s. When they stopped, when the government started to accept legalized bribes and cut taxes. But for most of United States history, like the invention of a lot of medicines, the invention of the vaccine, the invention of the internet, the invention of the X-ray, technological inventions, these people that invented these things, the three that I just specifically pointed out, they didn't patent them. They didn't want to make money off them. They were Americans, real Americans. I don't even know if all of them were Americans, but they contributed to the system.
They're not illegals.
Yeah. So, but to think that like, if these things weren't in place, that these specific people would be successful anyway. They probably would be successful, but they need to pay their fair share back. Like, let's not pretend like Jeff Bezos. Yeah, he like you said, he was anticipated the market, online market, Amazon, but he did not. The platform was already there. Like, he's living in this system country, and he needs to pay back to the system. He needs to pay back to the taxpayers that protect him, the taxpayers that go to war for him, the taxpayers that build the roads for him, the taxpayers that fucking build the schools for the workers that he employs to be able to work at his like Saeed is a worker. I use him because he works for Amazon, but he went to school at Michigan State University. It's a fucking state school, bro. That's a government. There was no Jeff Bezos University for Amazon. He didn't educate Saeed. You know what I'm saying? He needs to pay that shit back. Pay taxes. All of them do. All of them.
I think that's a fair point. Yeah, I think that we do need to
it's not so much as
a high threshold.
Yeah, but like that goes into more detail in terms of, do you pay taxes on unearned income? Because technically they didn't earn any of that when they're just sitting in illiquid stocks.
But my issue is they're not paying on it when it's earned either. Like when they're supposed to get the 15% when it's a long-term asset and they sell, right? They balance it off, right? Like any good business person would do, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm
when
saying
they sell,
is the
they
tax
put it
code,
into something else before they can get
the tax code needs to be adjusted. Yeah. Because they're like, if you're looking at their effective tax rate, it's fucking minuscule, And you look at it like an average person.
That's why you pay the tax people to find holes.
But what I'm saying is the tax people are also paying the politicians to create those holes so they can sell a product to their customer. You know what I'm saying? And we need to stop that fucking loop.
Both sides do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rich don't give a fuck what color flag you're swinging, dude. Blue or red, bro. The green is the god that they fucking salute to.
Joe Biden is the father of that shit, bro.